Good morning, everybody. And thank you for coming to what is a monumental milestone for Niagara region. My name is Lynn Guerrero. I'm the President and CEO of Niagara Health. I'm thrilled to be here today to celebrate the groundbreaking of the new South Niagara Hospital. To get us started, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome and introduce Dave LeBay to provide a traditional Indigenous opening to start our day. Dave?
I promise to be brief. I'll just introduce myself, and the opening will take about a minute and a half. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Oh, groovy. Kwe kishimanadu. Migasi been saying about renewable. Mitasanan dunjiba, makrema quadro. Miguech mishoma, CBWA, Sarjing Nunca. Miguech sneaket nunga gishbook. Wayne, chicken awamas, Mina, Wayne, chicken on nok. Miguechke, skikimakwe. Ego, Mijong, Bimadzuin. Ego, Mijong Bish. Ego, Mijong Nijum. Minwa ego mijong ne sewe. Seman ni bigetna. Yerno. Wabno. Jauno. Mino pingishmuk. Nadamushi chitsukagoya. Mino chesatuya. Eha. Naha. You've been blessed. Chinash kumatin.
Thanks very much, Dave. Niagara Health is honored to provide care on lands where Indigenous peoples have lived for thousands of years with their own unique cultures, identities, traditions, and languages. These lands are steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hattaway-Dawnang, the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. As part of our commitment to make Niagara Health a safe and welcoming space, the South Niagara Hospital has been co-designed with Indigenous community members through planning and design meetings with staff and physicians for all areas of the hospital. To the South Niagara Hospital Indigenous Committee and the Indigenous community members, the Niagara Health team thanks you for your dedication to make this hospital a welcoming place of healing for everyone. On behalf of the more 7,300 staff, physicians, and volunteers, I want to extend a warm welcome to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Sylvia Jones, Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, and the Honourable Kinga Surma, Minister of Infrastructure. And thank you to all of our government partners and elected representatives who are joining us today for this very significant milestone. And to the members of the Niagara Health Board of Directors, the Niagara Health Foundation Board of Directors, our generous donors, our staff, physicians, and volunteers. We would not be here without the work you do every day. Thank you, and welcome to you. I also want to thank Elliston Infrastructure Healthcare for being our partners in bringing this facility to life, and for your work in preparing the site for this event, which was no small feat, I have to tell you. Lastly, I would like to thank Frank Cron for giving his valuable time to play the piano for us this morning.
Good morning. My name is Andrea Scott, and I'm President and CEO of Niagara Health Foundation. After more than a decade of planning, I'm extremely excited to share this milestone with you today. Our collective vision of building a new hospital in South Niagara gets one step closer today to becoming a reality. A hospital is about so much more than just physical buildings. It's about the people inside those walls who work extremely hard every day to care for their community. It's about patients who come for care in times of need. And it's about compassionate care and the equipment required to deliver that care. The generosity of our Niagara community is a gift that continues to humble us at Niagara Health and Niagara Health Foundation. Donors have supported us in so many different ways. Most recently, you've stepped up to help us fund the It's Our Time campaign and the South Niagara Hospital. With each donation received, we get closer to hitting the targets of the It's Our Future campaign. I sincerely thank you all of our donors, for your unwavering support of this new South Niagara Hospital. Because of you, our new 1.3 million square feet of care will have everything it needs to support patients, staff, and physicians. And as you can see, site work has already begun on this property in preparation for roadways and construction trailers, which will be installed very soon, along with excavation, which will begin later this summer.
Thank you, Andrea. This groundbreaking is more than just a ceremony to celebrate the start of construction on our new South Niagara Hospital. It marks an important milestone in Niagara Health's journey towards transforming care in the region, allowing us to provide the right care at the right time to every person in Niagara region. This hospital will be a cornerstone of patient care in Niagara for generations to come, increasing our capacity and offering highly specialized services to our growing and aging population. It will also be a state-of-the-art facility that will help us attract and retain the best and brightest healthcare professionals to our region. On that note, and without further delay, I would like to give a very warm welcome to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, and ask him to please come to the podium to officially kick off our celebration.
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Lynn, and I want to thank everyone here. I want to thank the foundation too, because these projects don't happen without the support of the foundation. So again, Lynn and Andrea, thank you. It's a pleasure to be alongside Minister Jones. I call Minister Jones well, first of all, she's my deputy premier, but she's the general. So she's always been the general, and there's a reason we call her the general. When the general speaks, we make things happen. And our great minister, Minister Surma, in charge of infrastructure, along with Michael Lindsay, our CEO, and his whole team. Where's Michael Lindsay? See, he's way back there, such a modest guy. But between the minister and Michael and their entire team at Infrastructure Ontario, we're investing over $184 billion in great projects like the hospitals, actually a couple hospitals in the region, and the roads and the bridges and the Garden City Parkway and so on and so forth. So I want to thank both of you for doing a great job, and your entire team. One of our local champions, I call him Sammy, but I'll be official, MPP Sam Oosterhoff. Where are you, Sam? Oh, there you are, right in front. How could I miss that big smiling face? Our other representative down here, MPP Wayne Gates. We're looking to draft you. Eventually you're coming to the blue side, Wayne. You'll have no choice, right? But always good to see you, Wayne. I also want to acknowledge Regional Chair Jim Bradley. Jim, you've been an incredible partner in this region. And the one and only Mayor Jim Diodati. He was the guy listening. Anytime he cheers for me, I always have to hold on to my pockets when Jim's cheering for me. But I good call the other day about the bridge closing. So I get a late call from Jim. I get quite a few late calls from Jim, by the way. He's a great guy. And he said, we're going to have traffic, but MTO stepped up and they changed the schedule. So now we're going to have a lot of people coming back and forth. And we have the great mayor of Welland, Frank Campion. Frank, he's around here somewhere. And Collins Mayor Marvin Junkin. Mayor, great to see you. And Fort Erie Mayor Wayne Redekop. Mayor, great to see you. And Thorold Mayor Terry Ugolini. And St. Catharines Mayor Matt Cisco. I feel like I'm reading like the lineup of the Blue Jays. And next up the bat here we go. Niagara's Health Board Chair Mayor Lee O'Neill. So thank you. So I'm really thrilled to be here and making this announcement for South Niagara Hospital. But it says South Niagara Hospital, but with the two hospitals, and you're reading both, and I know Wayne's excited too. This brings, and I was talking to the general the other, just right before we came up, and Sylvia said that's going to be 500 new beds between both hospitals. I know everyone's been waiting for such a long time to get these hospitals going, and there's no better person to get them building than Infrastructure Ontario. I always brag about Infrastructure Ontario because it's world class around the world. They have a reputation, on time, on budget, a lot of projects. Like I said, $184 billion. This is going to be a new world-class facility. Niagara Health's care system providing a full scope of hospital services and centers of excellence in complex care, wellness and aging, and stroke. And our government is pleased to support the building of this new hospital with over $50 million in funding just to date. I know more is coming. But what I said earlier about the foundations, no matter what hospital we make an announcement, without the foundation, it can't be done. And foundation relies on the local businesses and communities right across the region. I've always said before, when it comes to health, folks, the status quo isn't working. And thanks to the great frontline healthcare workers and the docs and management, they come up with great ideas on how to deliver better care closer to home. And that's why our province, we're making historic investments, and these are pretty staggering numbers. We're investing over $50 billion to build 50 new hospitals or additions to hospitals right across the province. I always say when I visit towns, you're either getting a brand new hospital or you're getting a fairly large expansion of the hospital. We're investing over $6.4 billion with new long-term care beds, over 30,000. I don't like calling them beds, they're more like homes for people. So 30,000 homes and revamping 28,000 of them. And that's so important. We saw the pandemic, the aging infrastructure, so we're acting on that, close to 58,000 in total. We're investing billions of dollars to hire and retain healthcare workers. When I had an opportunity to sit down with the premiers in Manitoba last week, one item is, the top item was infrastructure, but other ones was health, human resources, and bringing people all across the world that are qualified, getting them through the college to make sure that they're approved. But we have right now, we have over 30,000 nurses in colleges and universities ready to come into the healthcare system, which is pretty staggering. And through the leadership of Minister Jones, we set a record, over 12,000 nurses registered last year alone. And since we've been in office, over 8,000 doctors. We're building new medical universities, medical schools. So it's all hands on deck right now. Together, these investments will help to ensure residents of Ontario, that residents of the Niagara region have more access to convenient care, as I said, closer to home for generations to come. My friends, this facility, the South Niagara Hospital, is just another example of Team Ontario. It's never about one person, it's never about one government, it's about communities coming together. And when we have commitments from the municipality and the community and the province, we're unstoppable. I call it Team Ontario, and there's no better place in the entire world to lay down your roots than right here in Ontario. And I said the staggering number that came out the other day from the federal government on newcomers coming to our province. It's over 504,000 people. 500,000 people arrived in Ontario last year. And you have an opportunity to talk to a lot of governors, and I know the governor of Texas always brags, in Florida, we're the fastest growing region in North America. Well, they get 365,000. They're pretty big states. We're growing rapidly at 50.5 million, and that's why every press conference you see me on, I'm talking about building those 1.5 million homes, building the roads and the bridges and the schools and the hospitals that we need. I knew it was coming down the road. We need people. We need about 380,000 people to fill the jobs that we have right now. And the only way we get them is by bringing more people into our country and making sure that they have an environment that they can thrive and grow and prosper like all of us have. Friends, this facility at South Niagara Hospital is just another example. See, this is why I don't like reading notes on a windy day. I'm just rereading that same paragraph. But my staff starts panicking when I go like this and I close the binder and just go off the cuff. They start shaking. But anyways, folks, then my boss down there, Deputy Premier, starts giving me the eye. Anyways, folks, it's so great to be here. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for contributing to this hospital. I just can't wait to come back and cut the ribbon and call this a new home for the Niagara Hospital. Anyways, thank you, everyone. God bless you and your families. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier Ford, and for your commitment to the residents of Niagara and for your leadership as demonstrated through the many investments you just described in transforming care here. I would now like to welcome to the podium the Honourable Sylvia Jones, Minister of Health.
Premier, you left your notes. Do you want me to read them again? So it is an incredible honor to be able to join you here to celebrate what truly is an amazing day. I see that your campaign is called It's Our Future. I would respectfully say that when you achieve that, you can say the future is here in Niagara. So congratulations, Lynn, to your team. The work that board members do, that foundation members do, all, as we say, on the side of their desk, working because they want a better community, just speaks to the commitment that you have here in this community. And I want to congratulate you for that, because this happens when people work together, when we have cooperation between hospital boards, between community members, between donors, and yes, between the province. But it happens because you have a commitment to your community. And I am delighted to be here with Premier Ford, Minister Surma, and of course, MPP Sam Oosterhoff. Leadership from Niagara Health and the Niagara Regional Chair and our local members and healthcare partners to celebrate this exciting milestone, the groundbreaking of the new South Niagara Hospital. This hospital has been a long time coming through hard work and collaboration across communities and government, and will now ensure that Niagara residents have access to world-class care for years to come, whether that is an emergency, complex, or critical care. It is designed to meet the growing needs of Niagara and will be home to centers of excellence for complex care, wellness and aging, and stroke care. The hospital will significantly increase regional capacity and accommodate 20,000 more emergency visits and 7,400 more senior wellness visits. Anytime we get shovels in the ground to improve local hospital services is a reason to celebrate. Our government is taking bold action to make it easier for Ontarians to navigate the healthcare system at every stage in their healthcare journey. In addition to the 3,500 hospital beds we added during a pandemic, our innovative plan is strengthening and stabilizing the health system for today and future generations. As highlighted by Premier Ford, thank you to everyone here who has been part of the extensive work that has brought to us this historic day. Please join me in celebrating this big step forward for the Niagara region. Stay well, everyone.
Thank you, Minister Jones, for your steadfast leadership in recognizing that alongside hospitals, high-quality care across Ontario, including primary and community care, you have really shown your leadership in making those investments across our system, and we very much appreciate it. Please help me in welcoming the Honourable Kinga Surma to bring greetings on behalf of the Ministry of Infrastructure.
Thank you so much. It's so wonderful to be here with, of course, the Premier, Premier Ford, the Minister of Health, MPP Oosterhoff, Michael Lindsay, CEO of Infrastructure Ontario. My last visit here was back in 2021 when Michael Lindsay and MPP Oosterhoff and then Minister of Health Christine Elliott announced the beginning stages of the procurement for this very hospital. And even then we saw how excited the team was about getting to that step. So I know how excited you are today to start construction and how excited you'll be in 5 years when you accept the very first patients. Now this new 8-story facility will have 469 patient beds, a new emergency, clinical, surgical, and therapeutic services tailored to an older population. And of course, the Premier mentioned our investment of $48 billion into hospitals right across this province, and he's right. You can't really go anywhere in the province without seeing an investment in a hospital. And why that is important? It's important because we have an older, aging population that needs our care, but it's also important because we want to be in a better position in the future in order to manage any unforeseen challenges like viruses and make sure that we can take care of our loved ones. And of course, we're investing very significantly in the region, thankfully too. On behalf of the work of MPP Oosterhoff, we're seeing West Lincoln Memorial, which is under construction, very first hospital that our government announced back in 2019. We're seeing construction start here, and then of course we're working with Hamilton Health Sciences on the Juravinski site. So lots happening in the region, you will be taken care of, and we will continue to build a resilient healthcare system for our children and grandchildren. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister Surma. And thank you for your support and the support of your team at Infrastructure Ontario for working alongside Niagara Health. Infrastructure Ontario has essentially become a part of the Niagara Health family, so they've been terrific to work with. It is now my pleasure to welcome Niagara Regional Chair Jim Bradley to please come forward to say a few words on behalf of the region.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be with you today. I should tell you I had instructions before I began from Tony Josie, who said that I'm allowed only 3 pages double-spaced and within 3 minutes. So Tony, I'm going to follow that direction from you. On behalf of Regional Council, I'm pleased to join with representatives from the provincial government and Niagara Health to celebrate the groundbreaking of the new South Niagara Hospital, and we're particularly pleased to welcome Premier Ford here with us today, Minister Jones and Minister Surma, all who have made a major commitment to Niagara with this particular facility and others in this area. This ceremony is a culmination of countless hours of planning, advocacy, and hard work from all the parties represented here. At the end of the day, all these efforts were undertaken in service of the residents and visitors of our region who will benefit from this state-of-the-art hospital facility. Niagara's growing population will now be served by 1.3 million square feet of world-class care, including regional centers of excellence for complex care, wellness and aging, and stroke care and recovery. As regional councillors, and there are many who are here today, we know that our residents deserve access to the best hospital facilities. Through the pandemic, we all learned how crucial hospital infrastructure is and how much we all rely on it in times of great need. To this end, Regional Council voted to provide $45 million to this project in order to ensure it would become a reality and serve the residents and visitors of Niagara for generations to come. I prompted Jim Diodati to lead the applause on that particular line. So it's important, as I say, that this project really represents more than outstanding health care. It's going to act as an economic and development catalyst for the southern end of Niagara Falls and beyond. We are committed to growing our economy and building more homes, and the hospital is a central component of our future plans. In closing, I want to thank the provincial government for the decision to move forward with this important project. Delivering a new hospital to a community is a major commitment, and it demonstrates your ongoing interest in the Niagara region. I also want to thank all of the private and corporate donors who have given money to this crucial project. We thank you for investing back into the community where you do business. This would not have become a reality without you. This groundbreaking is yet another demonstration of how Niagara is continuing to grow better together. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jim. And I noted you said 45 million, and we'd like to thank you and the councillors for that investment. My notes say 44.5. So I'm now rounding it up. Thank you for that little bonus. No, the financial support you've demonstrated in the region is phenomenal, and we thank you for that. I would now like to invite Mayor Jim Diodati. He is co-chair of the It's Our Future fundraising campaign, to say a few words on behalf of the foundation and on behalf of his co-chair, Mr. Harry Oakes.
Thanks very much, Lynn. And yeah, I put the chain on, and I don't wear it too often, but for special events, I do wear it. And when the Premier brings along his team of senior ministers and senior staff, and they make an announcement that it's the biggest capital investment by the province in the Niagara region's history, I put the chain on. Is this awesome? Yeah. It's a bit surreal. You know, sometimes people talk about overnight successes and how easy things happen. This has been 13 years in the making, when our city council put it as one of our strategic initiatives to build a new hospital. See, our hospital is from 1958, and it's seen its better days, and we knew how important this was. So it's been a really long haul. If I could, I just ask if all the city councilors and the regional councillors would stand up and be acknowledged for your enduring support of this great project. And please help me to acknowledge them. Also, I'd like to acknowledge my co-chair for the capital campaign. We're lucky. We get to work with a great foundation team, a great foundation board. We get to work with Niagara Health, Lynn and her team. And the Premier said it, it's all about team. It's all about, you know, when you row a boat, anyone who's ever rowed a boat, when you row on one side, you just go in circles. You got to row both sides and at the same time, and then you can cross big rivers. So I'd like to acknowledge first off my capital campaign co-chair, Harry Oakes, who a lot of people know him in tourism. He's a legend. Please stand, Harry. Please stand. Now, you have to understand, when I first approached Harry, Harry's a legend in tourism. He's well known around the world. And it was COVID. And he said, Jim, I don't know if you've noticed, but we're closed. He said, I don't think people are going to donate. It's a bad time. Tourism, although we employ 40,000 people in Niagara, we're the #1 leisure destination in the country, he said, we're hemorrhaging. It's terrible time. He still agreed to join the team. And I'm happy to say the initial target of 40 million we surpassed. We're already over 55 million, and the people are giving. How about a big hand? And if I could briefly just ask those people here, there's a number of people who wrote some very big checks and made some big pledges. Would you please stand and be acknowledged in front of everybody, please? And what a great time to thank Chair Bradley for that tip. That was very kind, Chair Bradley, that extra $500,000. So just to go back just real briefly, historically, it's usually 20%, but it's okay. We'll just, the chair's a bit cheap, but that's okay. Frugal's the word. So everyone said it's never going to happen. That's not how it works. You know, hospitals aren't built in a day, blah, the stories went on and on. Well, it started off with, we decided it was really important. We put it as a strategic initiative of our city council. And then at the region, our EMS, emergency medical teams, our planning staff went out and they tried to geographically figure out the most important logical place to build a hospital to serve the Niagara and to serve south of Niagara. Well, they did that, and the most appropriate place was in this general area. So I went with Serge Felicetti, our Director of Economic Development, to all the landowners in the area looking for a donation, because we knew this wasn't going to be easy. And I want to acknowledge the Grassel family. We met with John Grassel and his family, and they donated the first 30 acres that we're standing on right now. Can we acknowledge the Grassel family? And then we did something really crazy. And anyone who knows me, I can be a little mercurial at times. And we said, we got to put a sign up. We got to put a sign to mark the territory. So I reached out to the guys at Pattison Signs, Tim Parker, and we reached out to Larry Vaughn at GAMS, Ground Aerial Maintenance, who's got heavy machinery. Said, would you guys put up some telephone poles and a billboard? And they did it. Larry broke an axle on one of his front end loaders. We got the sign put up and we staked the area, because you know they say plan your work, then work your plan, make bold steps. Well, we took some bold steps, and I just want to thank those are the people, they were part of the Chamber of Commerce at one time, 10 years ago, that agreed this was a good idea, that we needed it, and they invested in it, and here we are today. Please, they're not here, but we need to acknowledge them and their efforts. Thank you. Then the city, then we were told we actually need 20 extra acres. And we said, why? 28? We were told 30. They said the new way we build hospitals, we get extra land. So in 50 years, we're actually planning ahead, and then we can rebuild on the site without having to find a new location. So the city of Niagara Falls committed and bought 20 acres. And it's difficult. People say it's a lot of money. And we agree, healthcare is not cheap, but I'm going to tell you something. Someone, myself, who's been through cancer, and a lot of other people have been through things worse than me, you don't appreciate something until you lose it. And I'll tell you, once you lose it, you'll do anything to get it back. So investing in healthcare is the most important thing, and I'm so grateful to this premier and to this team and to this government to following through on their commitments, and we followed through the commitment of the government. They made the announcement, and here we are today. Let's thank once again our premier and our government, please. So yes, I'm almost finished. Don't worry, and I have to give a shout out to Fort Erie, and at the time was Mayor Martin. They were the first city to make a commitment, a financial commitment to this hospital. At that time, several years ago, before we knew what the numbers were going to be, they made and they approved it at their council, made the first commitment, even before the city of Niagara Falls did. And I think that shows leadership, it shows bravery. Can we acknowledge Fort Erie for doing that? So it's a historic day. This is going to be a center of excellence. And some people say, well, it's just a building. I said, right. It's going to be a state-of-the-art building with the newest and latest and greatest equipment, which is going to attract the brightest and best healthcare professionals that want to work in a great facility. And at the end of the day, it's going to lead to the best healthcare for the residents of Niagara. I can tell you, I'm so excited. I wore my Buzz Lightyear socks today To infinity and beyond, I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to the government. I'm looking forward, and God bless. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jim. What Jim didn't say is when they put the sign up and the poles and everything, that they never got permission from the hospital. It just appeared one day. So when you have a job that needs to be done that's going to be hard, you give it to Jim. So you can see why. He is our campaign co-chair, and I want to recognize, Jim, you for your continued advocacy for Niagara Health. It's been a long time. And your dedication to the fundraising. I want to thank Niagara Falls City Council for your recent commitment of an incredible $30 million to support the project, along with the previous investment, as Jim just mentioned, of $11 million to purchase the land that we celebrate on today. So thank you for that as well. And as Jim mentioned, I also want to extend our gratitude to Mayor Redekop and the town of Fort Erie for their initial commitment and their investment in this project that Jim just mentioned. We're incredibly grateful for the leadership of our municipal elected officials here in Niagara. I agree, it's a great team, and without them we couldn't do what we do. So, Andrea and I are delighted to now invite Premier Ford, Minister Jones, and Minister Surma to come forward for the official groundbreaking ceremony photo to mark this very special occasion. We're going to do a few photos formally with everyone still sitting in their seats. We're going to tell people when to come up, and then everyone who wants a picture can get one thereafter when we close the ceremony. So we're just doing this very carefully at the beginning. So right now, Premier Ford, Minister Jones, and Minister Surma.
Let me know if you want me to go tight. Okay, I'm going tight.
On your way?
Okay, well, on the count of three, we'll do it. 1, 2, 3.
Nobody knows how to shovel like politicians.
Do it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
One more for the
Okay. Want that loaded up? 1, 2, 3.
One will be done.
Another shot. Everyone loaded up?
Load up. Big day here in Niagara.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have the honor of wrapping up today's event, and I can begin by sensing, frankly, the enthusiasm in this room. It feels like a long time coming, and we hope, Premier Ford, we're going to see you many times over the process of this wonderful build. On behalf of the Board of Directors for Niagara Health, it is my great pleasure to thank you and your ministers, MPP, our regional chair, our mayors, and many officials for your huge dedication and support for the residents of Niagara. This significant milestone is truly a testament to all that hard work you've mentioned, the planning, and the dedication of a group of people that I'm honored to mention, the Niagara Health team. So if you would join me in recognition of this terrific team. I want to particularly acknowledge the South Niagara Hospital project team for their passion and their determination to make sure that this new hospital is truly reflective of all of Niagara. They have engaged Niagara Health staff, the physicians, patients, community partners to ensure views, all these views, will make sure the hospital design meets the needs of all communities for the future. As a board and as a team, we are very excited, as you can tell, about transforming how we deliver care for this community. We're well on our way to achieving that vision with all of your support today. We hope through this hospital and the many good work of the Niagara Health team that we can really fulfill that vision of quality care connected throughout our communities. So congratulations to all. Thank you all for attending today. It's been quite a moment that none of us are going to forget very soon. I'd like to invite you all to stay to enjoy the light refreshments provided. And obviously, we'd like to capture a few more photos with each and every one of you. And to close our event today, I'm particularly honored to invite back Dave to provide for us a very traditional Indigenous closing. Thank you, Dave.
Wow, you guys go big. My closing and my opening are usually the same, but this time I'm going to do it in English so you'll understand it. I think I have a little bit more time, so I'll give you a little prelude on it. It came to me from a friend whose father went to residential school with 2 other young boys. And they used to say this every morning and every time they had a chance to get together, because it was illegal in the residential schools for you to use your language. So they would sneak around and do this, and they would say that little prayer. And it worked very well because one of the men, his son is a language teacher now, and he's gone to Lakehead University, and he's got his certificate and what have you. And he's online, he's in person, he's got books on the go, he's doing a lot. And another one of the men, he used to teach language here at the Niagara Regional Native Center down on Airport Road in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And the third one became an author, and he would write books in Indigenous language, Anishinaabe-Moan, and also in English. But that's where I get this idea that you heard me say the words, but you don't know what I said. So the idea is to let you know what I did say. And it's something that hits home with me because it deals with children. It was kept alive by children, and I got to know all 3 of those men and the family of one of them. So here I go. I'll just introduce myself in the language, and then I'll say it in English. Kwe gishimanadu migizi bim se nabo enunabo nitasanan dunjaba makadema kwa dodem. Thank you, grandfather. We say thank you for shining on us today, so that we could come together to look upon each other and to talk to each other in good ways. Thank you to our medicine mother, the earth. We take our tobacco and we put it down, and it is for our Mother Earth. It gives us everything we need. And that tobacco, we honor the waters, that gift of the water, which we would be in very bad shape if we didn't have that gift all the time and readily available. We give that also, I'm trying to remember how to translate, but we also give thanks for our food, because our food is available to us, but we have to work for it, we have to take care of it, we have to take care of the things that keep our food alive. And give thanks to the air that we breathe and all the things that are necessary for having basic life exist. So we take that tobacco and we offer it to the north, to the east, to the south, and to the west. And we say thank you for allowing us to have strong hearts and be a strong people. And I end with Chinash Kumatin, which is thank you in my language. Okay, so now you guys can go out and talk like an Indian. Just to let you know a little bit about me, my nation is Innu. My name means the eagle that flies, and that's what I've had for the last 30 years. And basically it's a job, is what it describes. And I used to be an employee at the Fort Erie Native Friendship Center, and they thought they got rid of me, but I snuck in the back door, and now I'm a board member. And I would very much like to thank, and I appreciate the designs that were done by Six Nations and their artists and their designers, and I would very much like to thank you for including the Indigenous people in this hospital. It's your thoughts are the kindest I've seen in a very long time. Chinesh Kumatin, no.